Husbandos and waifus, I'm back from Anime Expo. Well, it's been like a week since I've been back from Anime Expo. Like the whole time I was just like recuperating, I was resting, and even then I was just like still streaming every day. I was trying to catch up on videos, what I needed to do and edit, but luckily the new season of anime kind of just takes a little bit of time for it to come through, and luckily I did officially tested negative for COVID through PCR test a few days after attending the con, as well as me testing every day and testing negative. So your boy is good to go. Dude, if you ask my squad that I was with the whole time at Anime Expo, they will tell you that I was probably one of the most cautious people there, always wearing a mask, only taking it down when I was eating or when I was drinking. But other than that, you know, we stayed safe. So I just wanted to quickly talk about the things that I learned about what I learned at Anime Expo and my revelations. Now, this is just my own personal thoughts and my own opinion, so I know everyone learns something different every event that they attend. So I always learn the most about myself at Anime Expo. For some strange reason, there's always some huge revelation whenever I attend, and this one in particular was no different, but it was mostly understanding how I'm functioning now. So one of the things was I am not as physically fit as I was the last Anime Expo. So definitely I need to kind of diet a lot better, and I have to work out a little bit harder, but mostly on the cardio side. What I usually do now, as you guys know, I work out with one of my closest friends, Mr. Ludi, and I'm always like lifting. It's mostly a lot of lifting. So in terms of strength, I'm so much stronger, but my stamina is horrible. I was just dying. Mostly my feet. I didn't feel tired from the convention. I was able to function properly. But the only reason why I felt like I needed to sleep was to rest my feet, because my feet were killing me. So not only do I have to just, you know, work on my mobility and my stamina, but I also have to look into some better insoles for my shoes as well. I got some new shoes just for this event, but the material of the Air Max 90 that I got, the insoles were a lot thinner than it used to be. So it was already too late when I swapped it out to some better insoles. But then I kind of want to go see like a foot doctor to see my options of like what would help me walk around the con a lot. If you ask like Wake and Tommy, and I'm so grateful for them for letting me take breaks every once in a while, because I know they wanted to look at so many things. I needed to stop sometimes because we were literally on our feet from the moment we got there, which was the beginning of the convention, to the very end and some, because the convention would end at 10 and we're still there, you know. But yeah, that's one of the things that I learned, is like I need to just work on stamina and just seeing how I can better myself. I plan on doing this stream, which sounds absolutely stupid, but I want to go try these insoles at New Balance, where they kind of like measure your feet, put it on, you know, do their thing, pay whatever the premium is for the best insoles they can give me, and go stream at the gym of me just walking on the treadmill for about 7 to 8 hours, because that's usually the time frame that we're walking. Obviously we take breaks, like a 30 to an hour break to just sit down, but just to walk around to see if my feet will hurt after that, because like I said, at the convention we're mostly standing, we're walking, we're doing so many different things. So yeah, that's one of my plans. Another thing is the very big importance about wearing a mask. A lot of people that I know, I'm not gonna say names, were not wearing masks, and they got sick. Whether if it's positive COVID or not, they ended up getting sick, and I don't wish COVID on anyone. It sucks. I've been getting nonstop notifications on my phone like someone near you tested positive for COVID, and obviously it's through Anime Expo, because Anime Expo was crazy. So, you know, test regularly, wear a mask, be careful, just be safe, guys. It still exists, and there are still many side effects. You may not be, you know, being sent straight to the hospital anymore, because especially if you're vaccinated, you know, but just to be on the safe side, you know, just be careful out there. But I don't want to preach you guys on it. It's up to you guys. I just don't want to get sick. Yeah, I have a cough, but I constantly have a cough. I have a chronic cough, unfortunately, and I have to take what's it called, an inhaler for that. The next thing that I learned is that because this was the first convention where I actually had finances, like I was financially set, and I knew I was going to spend a ton of money at Anime Expo, I have to choose between standing in lines to purchase things for myself and other people and creating content, because standing in line really takes a lot out of you. So maybe just a certain day, I am just going to stand in line and do whatever. More than likely a Monday, because that's usually the less busiest day. All the exclusives are on like the first day, which is usually Friday, but it does get pretty crazy. So yeah, like people were like running to get certain exclusives, whether if it was the Digimon line, the V Shoujo line, Loki Geeks, who helped me get in, and various other brands. They sell out first day usually. So in terms of exclusivity and purchasing those, I have to make that decision whether if it's worth it or not. And at this point, I love my friends so much. I love the people that watch me, my mods and stuff, but I cannot be in those lines if I'm trying to create content. So at the end of the day, if it's not there on the final day when I'm trying to look for stuff, then I can't buy. Like I was in line for a lot of stuff and I did buy a lot of things. You guys can see like that video where I talk about like my pickups. It doesn't seem like too much, but it all adds up. Like I added up my expenses outside of just food, parking, certain tickets for certain things, and let's just say like it was close to $1,000. So, and the food in LA is not exactly cheap, you know, it was pretty pricey. So yeah, like me making the time to create content is more important than going out to buy stuff. So now I learned that, you know, like I said, this was the first anime expo where I actually had finances. So I was like, okay, let me go all out. But at the same time, it's that taught me a lot, that also buying things make me more tired to create content. One of the things that I usually do when I go to Anime Expo is I have a plan. I have a plan that I want to do this, that I want to record this on this day, I want to do this at this time, this. This Anime Expo, I had no idea what I was doing. So maybe I should have a plan because I'm there all 4 days. So I should figure out what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go. So I'm not there the whole time fucking twiddling my thumbs and walking around aimlessly trying to think of something to shoot or being scared to ask cosplayers to wobble with me. I mean, I think one of the things that I have to do is on my phone, and I see this on TikTok a lot and on Instagram, where before someone shoots, they actually show them an example of like what they want to shoot for. And I feel like I should do that with my YouTube channel, because when I ask people, and it happens frequently, they look at me like I'm so goddamn weird and that I'm just doing this for some perverted reason when I'm just shooting content. But it's just me, I'm not in cosplay and I want to shoot a video with a cosplayer doing this. It doesn't make sense. So I should make an example of video form on my phone so I can give them an example, because trust me, I've gotten a weird, like, I think it was just, luckily it was just one weird look, but after that one weird look, it was very discouraging, but I kept going. But it was really hard to shoot after that. But pretty much her and her, I guess it was her boyfriend, didn't like the idea that I was asking to shoot a video of me wobbling with her. She was just not having it, and she just like, no, sorry, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. I told her like, that's fine, it's fine. But you know, like they're not obligated to, you know, say yes to me, but I feel like it would be better to have an example of what I'm doing, because it does sound suspect as hell, and I should have examples. And I think I would be more confident with asking people to wobble with me if I have an example on my phone. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to create like an example video of me doing wobbles. And so when I go up to a cosplay, like, hey, is it okay if I could shoot a video with you? It's going to look like something like this. Probably an unlisted video of me doing wobbles. And it'll, you know, having a decent sub count, which I do have, helps a little bit, because you're like, oh, okay, he is someone that has a following. It's not as weird. Still weird, but it's not as weird, because he's shooting for content versus, you know, probably doing some nasty stuff to it, which I'm not. Another thing that I feel like I should do is I should pack snacks. As prepared in terms of things on me that I was not as prepared as I thought I was. Luckily, I always had my water, so I was always hydrated. There were so many water stations for me to drink and stuff, but at the same time, I was hungry. So the moment that we got at the convention, usually around 9 a.m., we did not eat. And I'm telling you guys, we did not eat until the end of the con, which is about 6 p.m., the main exhibit hall. Then we'd go out to eat, and then we would go somewhere else, like the entertainment hall, which is open till like 10. But usually we would not eat until around 6 p.m. So we're eating, we're literally just fasting the whole time, and it is not fun. It's exhausting, and I also think that constituted to the pain that I felt. So a lot of I was a little bit tired, but I think I was just hungry tired. The majority of my pain was my feet, and I feel like if I just sat down, had a lunch or a snack or something, I'm sure I would feel so much better. So packing a snack would help, but at the same time, at the door, they're pretty strict. Security was not very consistent. Getting in and out of the con was very quick and easy. They figured out a system that worked to let people in quickly, even with a security check. But at the same time, security check was not always consistent. Sometimes they would let you in with a drink and a snack, but sometimes they wouldn't. So it just depends who's at the door or which security is running the thing at the time. So it wasn't very consistent, but at least have like some candy or like a bar in my bag. I had a big bag with a whole lot of nothing inside of it that was useful except my water bottle and a external battery and like my camera stuff. And the last thing is mostly a personal problem. It's a me problem. It's not anything else. No one is saying this, but it's mostly the mental drive that I have. I get easily discouraged, so at the same time it motivates me. There were so many influencers at Anime Expo, and influencers, or I should say content creators, because I hate the word influencers, but there were so many content creators at Anime Expo. Just seeing them and seeing where I'm at, and I'm so happy to be where I'm at. When I compare myself to where I was a few years ago, it's completely different. I'm privileged enough to be able to do the things that I do, to have the connections that I have, and etc and etc. But at the same time, I have this thing where I can't help but compare myself. And when I look at these other content creators that were at Anime Expo, I just felt like I could never be at that level, or I will never be at that the same space as them. As much as I would love to be in that same space as like the Trash Taste boys, even OTV and stuff, I don't think I will ever, and that's me saying that, that's not them. It just felt, it felt a little discouraging almost, but at the same time, it motivated me because it made me want to carve my own path into success, into doing things myself, and to making things work. I think Toast tweeted that he's having a super secret big content influencer creator party for only 100,000 subs and up, and obviously I'm not gonna get to that. I'm only at 35k, and I'm like losing at the same time. Seeing that kind of made me discouraged, but also it motivated me. It's a weird conflict, right? Like, I'm just like, damn, I want to be in that space with them. I want to meet the Sky's Toast. I want to meet the Trash Taste guys. I want to collaborate with them, but I'm just not gonna get to that level with how I'm moving. So I have to move differently. So that was like the whole like mental battle that I was having in my head. It was an interesting mental battle, but it was a mental battle. But it does motivate me. Like, even now, like, my viewership is not what it used to be. It's pretty slow because obviously there's a bit of change in my content and change of my audience. Not everyone's gonna stick around, and I've talked about my feelings about like the slowing down of what's happening and me falling into irrelevancy. But that only motivates me to try something different and to keep moving forward, and there will always be a bounce back. I've talked to many content creators. I talked to Roger, I talked to Foreverworld, and I talked to a few others, and just trying to figure out the best course of action. And I think the best course of action is to create content that I like and that I want to do, while also doing the things that is like the standard of my YouTube. So obviously the reactions have become the standard, but you guys see me, I've been mixing in the Annie films and certain like reviews here and there, and just like different things that I want to do, rather than just watch anime and laugh and scream and do all that. I want to do all of that. I want to do that and more, and that's what I'm exactly doing. The thing that I learned is that I want to carve my own path and to become better, and maybe one day I'll be in that space with them. If it's possible or not, who knows. I would love to be in that space with them, but within my own merit. I know I have friends who could introduce me to those guys, but I kind of want to get there on my own merit, and I think that'll happen one day, hopefully. But if not, at least I'm reaching for the moon, but if I don't reach it, I'll at least be one of the stars. But isn't the stars like far away? I guess I'll just be a shining fucking piece of gas in the sky, or whatever a star is. Those were the things that I've learned at Anime Expo. Those were like everything that I was feeling and that I learned. So hopefully the next Anime Expo, I will be more prepared and I'll be more stacked and ready. While at the same time, there is an Anime Expo Part 2 in Ontario. I'm hoping to attend that, so we're going to see. But yeah, that's my Anime Expo. I had fun though. I had a great time. Great time.